Hello, everybody. Good morning from Australia. I'm speaking to you live from my hometown called Port Macquarie in the mid-north coast of New South Wales in Australia. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning for me here. And I welcome all the people in the audience, some of you in the US, and it's evening for you. And my friends in Asia, it's still very early morning for you. So welcome to this wellness webinar. My name is Dr. Caroline Hong. I have a background in healthcare and business, predominantly in the healthcare sector for 40 years, so 4 decades. I started life as a dental surgeon in the 1980s. So I've lived a very long time and enjoyed a very fulfilling clinical career, 15 years practice as a clinical dentist. And I then moved on to senior management administration roles, and I became the first woman CEO of the largest dental association in Australia. So created a little bit of history of women in dentistry at that time. And then I moved on to the medical sector and worked for 10 years in the field of association management for the Australian Society for Ultrasound Medicine for Australia and New Zealand. And we're part of the world affiliated body of 55,000 medical specialists. So as you can see, I'm very passionate about the healthcare industry. And for the last 10 years, I've been mostly in a consulting role for company boards in healthcare, government bodies, business organizations, and the healthcare sector. So my passion for health continues on, and fast forward to 2023, when I was invited and I heard about a company called 3. I immediately jumped on, attracted initially by the products. And my husband and I have been using the products for a year. And over that 1 year, it's just, even though it's a startup company, the transformation in people's lives is just enormous. So tonight, I have great pleasure in hosting this webinar. I will be joined later by 4 speakers. So we will have RENEE LYNN, and then Jennifer Seven, and Anna Morris, and also Robin Mitchell, all of them in the US, and all of them are health coaches. So, so I have great delight now in calling on to RENEE LYNN. Hello, RENEE. I'm so grateful for you to come on this platform with me. RENEE and I actually have known each other for a few years when I was fairly new in the industry. So that was right in the middle of the pandemic. And that's when I had a lot of time when my income dropped 90% and we were in lockdown stage. And looking for solutions to my well-being in a holistic manner. And RENEE actually is amazing. She is actually a functional health and nutrition coach. I actually met RENEE and her husband, or her partner, Peter, in Hong Kong last year. My husband and I met RENEE. She's amazing. She's more beautiful in person. She's beautiful online as well. But when you meet her, you can't help but love her. So she's a functional health and nutrition coach of entrepreneur for 38 years. So that's a long time. I've been working for 40 years. So we're about the same vintage, forever young. She's a mom of 2 boys, age 22 and 29. And she loves golf. You often see pictures of her playing golf, looking really stunning. She loves hiking and yoga. So she just is this picture of health and vitality. And she reveals her age. I don't normally reveal my age, but she's very brave. She reveals her age as 62 years young. The old word is banned from my circles. And she comes from California. So RENEE, please tell us a little bit more than what I've just shared with the audience about your background, how you came to 3, and what really attracted you to the company 3.
Well, thank you, Dr. Caroline. What a blessing to, one of the things that really attracted me to the industry and our platform is the fact that I can meet people across the world. I can do business across the world on one platform very simply, easily like that. I mean, I didn't know people all over Asia, but I do now. And for me as an entrepreneur, I started my first business. I've had multiple businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I started at 24 in the event industry, and just kind of as I progressed through my life, there were points in time at which I, focused a little more on being a woman as I had my first child at 33, and then I was starting to introspect and wanting some things that I could give back to my community, and so getting a little more into that purposeful part of life. But I think that's one of the things that brings all of us here to Three International is a purpose. Like, all of the people here this evening, as you said, are in the health industry, but we come here for a reason because we already impact people's lives. Like Dr. Caroline, you and Andrew are the spitting image of health and in your 60s, and just a beautiful thing of getting married at an older age, like finding your soulmate and finding, having that vision of vitality. And I think that's the one of the things that we all look for is to live our lives with purpose and vitality. If you watch the Blue Zone, movies and documentaries, those are key things in creating that long, long life. So that's a little about me.
Fantastic, because since the pandemic, my husband and I had to reassess our lives because we were leading crazy lives and we thought we were healthy, but internally we were not. And I actually have to thank the pandemic and the lockdown that forced us. Not only did our income drop by 90% for both of us, but it gave us time to reassess our own wealth and our own health and wealth as well going forward, and what we're going to do with the rest of our life. Also, coincidental to that, as Renee said, my husband and I only got married just in February, so the lockdown happened in March. So we spent all our honeymoon period in lockdown, and fortunately our marriage survived, and we could go on all the honeymoon trips that we booked on. And life is really good. And my aim, as Renee rightly said, so everybody has come together for purpose, and we all have a extensive experience in healthcare because I've been in healthcare in very senior positions and policymaker, funder, and also influencer in a way, lobbying government to provide better healthcare system. And so I've seen the good, the bad, and ugly of the healthcare system from the perspective of the consumer and also from the perspective of the funder and the person making the policy. So we all have a common purpose to impact lives. And Renee, I'm so glad that you continue to do that even after 38 years as an entrepreneur. You continue. I'm just amazed at how you reinvent yourself and continue to speak so passionately. But what is it about Three and the products in Three that really caught your eye, and how? Because you got 38 years experience in your nutrition coach, functional nutrition coach, holistic in your approach. You must have seen and experienced so many different types in the past before Three came to being. So what was it that stood out for you, that you also have seen results for the people that you have influenced and transformed?
Well, I'll tell you, it started really with me. Like when I was introduced to this, I was on IV therapy for about 6 years. I got diagnosed with severe mercury toxicity, and that really started with a series of antibiotics that cause leaky gut. And leaky gut is very prevalent in our world. I didn't even know what leaky gut was, but I ate a high fish diet, and I was vegetarian as a child and just grew up that way. And then I added fish as my protein. I ate sushi, and I really wasn't selective about fish, and it wasn't I just didn't know. And so what I ended up finding out as my energy just started tanking, and I thought it was my hormones, and I got those tested. It wasn't that in my early 50s. But really what it was is I had severe metal toxicity, and that triggered things like Hashimoto's. It triggered Epstein-Barr. It triggered an old tick bite, which, I had underlying Lyme's disease. And, all of those things caused me to have chronic fatigue. My hair was falling out. I had areas of pain in my neck and shoulder, my low back. I couldn't sleep at night, so I had severe insomnia. I was running a business, so like if I needed to be online, I would have to take like a half a pain med so that I could just, make some amendments to our website or send out an email. And I couldn't sleep, and I knew that tomorrow I had like a full day of clients, and so I would take a half of an Ambien. Like it wasn't a great thing, but that's all I could figure out. And along the way, I was taking tons of like turmeric pills. I was trying to do everything to naturally reduce my inflammation, body work, kinesiology, acupuncture, all these different things. But ultimately, I still, it dialed down to I was still toxic inside. And I am diagnosed with the MTHFR gene, which is a gene expression that keeps you from detoxification. So I had to learn a lot along the way, and it just, I was doing IV therapy every week for 6 years. I spent about $2,000 a month for 6 years, so you can do the math on that. But ultimately, when a friend of mine just introduced me to the technology of three, that's when I was like, first of all, I'd been already studying cellular absorption. And so I was able to really switch over to this and really like treat my body. I have, incredible energy, as you said, like my energy has changed so much using our
Like
product
a young
line.
person.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it. But then as I started introducing it in my clinic, in my wellness clinic, it just expanded because it's easy. People love easy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, can you expand a little bit on that? Because you just shared with us all the struggles you went through, which I'm sure the people in the audience can relate to one or two or more of them or all of them. I already know a few people in my circle who actually struggle with all of the symptoms and all the illnesses that you just mentioned, including Lyme's disease and Hashimoto and all that. Chronic fatigue is so common. So the products, can you elaborate a little bit about, just touch on a little bit about the full range of the products, just a little bit on
Yeah.
how each of them, because I know, as I know you so well, I know you take all the products, and I've seen the transformation in you. I see you, playing golf, looking so beautiful and glamorous. You just reverse aging in my mind. How can that be? So can you tell me how how does each of the product that you're taking actually change for you? And
Okay.
is
Yeah,
it
I would love to
you keep
share
taking
that.
them? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think, ultimately I was working with a traditional MD who was an integrative and alternative medicine practitioner. And, he had me on glutathione IVs with magnesium and vitamin B and vitamin C. And then at the end of the day, I still had to inject myself with vitamin B because I wasn't holding on to my nutrients, like they weren't absorbing. And so I started using this product line, and I'll tell you, the first 90 days, I didn't like, I was so afraid to let go of my IVs, but pretty soon I started realizing, gosh, I feel so much better. And so, like, I was backing off on my IVs and just, some of my supplements I do double up on. Now, of course, it's very important that you work with your doctor when you want to do these things. But Hashimoto's, your autoimmune, is a lot related to inflammation in your system. So when we start naturally reducing these and bringing the body into homeostasis, so when the body absorbs the right nutrients, like, I always think of my grandma, like we would go out, we had a garden, we like canned all the food, we made our own bread, we ate that all winter long. We didn't eat anything processed. And so when our body can actually absorb our vitamins, so I started along the way healing my leaky gut. So nothing was, going away. Like I was actually absorbing my nutrients. And that was really helpful with the Eternal product, with the collagen, the glutathione, that really helped me with my leaky gut. And then the Revive also, because it's anti-inflammatory. Like I used to wake up with like my knuckles were swollen, my ankles were swollen. Once I started, taking all of the products together synergistically, like that just slowly dissipated. And I was okay. And pretty soon, my energy was good and I was sleeping. And it's just the absorption system. So, and then when we absorb our nutrients, our body comes back into the natural state that it was meant to be. And I think that's the key thing that people wonder, like, well, what's this doing? Why is my cholesterol going down 30 points? Because we brought the immune system, the gut system is healing. 80% of your immune system resides in your gut system. And so when we can create that, we have this just synergistic effect of the body doing what it's supposed to do. And that brings our blood sugar into alignment, our metabolic system, our, just everything comes into alignment. And we see these great, great testimonials, I will say.
It's just amazing. I often have to pinch myself and say, am I really alive? And, just so much energy. But the energy that's been described and that my husband and I personally feel, as well as been expressed throughout the past 12 months by so many people who have used the products. For instance, the vitality, they say that it improved the energy levels that they've never experienced before, especially busy moms or frontline workers or people in health profession, people in a caring situation where they're giving out, and they just feel depleted. The vitality, which is the multivitamin mineral pack with the probiotics, prebiotics, and omega oils, the energy that people often describe is calm energy. And do you feel that is what's
Yes,
happening? For some
yes,
people think
I
it means you're like
abs
hyper. No, you're not hyper. You just you
no,
just
no, no, absolutely. And
up.
I don't drink any caffeine. Like I haven't drank caffeine for probably almost 40 years. And I really only drank caffeine in my early 20s. And I had a nutritionist tell me like that wasn't for me. But so it took me, so I will say that the majority, like 80% of people that take the product line in 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, they feel this incredible energy. That wasn't me. Like I took 90 days to really go, okay, wow, this is different. And I hear that a lot with people. And remember that we are not saying that we diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. These are just natural testimonials that happen for people. But I will say that most people will tell me like, wow, I feel my vitamins. Like I've been taking vitamins for a long time, but I actually feel these. And so, yeah, I will say that people feel them. And that's why we really, we replaced everything in our wellness clinics because, when you know better, you do better. And I couldn't offer my clients something that maybe I would make a little more money on. I really had to make sure that they were on really good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's already demonstrated because Dr. Dan Gubler, our Chief Scientific Officer, how blessed are we to have an elite scientist being our Chief Scientific Officer and the formulator, and he has such extensive background, having formulated over 70 nutrition supplements, and he's an expert in phytonutrients and cellular absorption technology. So clever. I'm a bit of a science nerd, although I don't look like one. I was a science student and aced the science class in school. And then in dentistry, we had to study science as well in our first year. And that was relatively easy for me in the first year because I've already done that in Malaysia based on the British A-level system. And how I was just fascinated how Dr. Dan Gubler, he especially picks all the ingredients from special sources that are like secret to us, to the company, and then he puts them in a formulation, and they all work together synergistically so that it's positive synergy rather than negative synergy. which is probably why I can take it all the products at any time of the day. That means it doesn't matter because it absorbs straight away. In the past, when you go to see a doctor, when you prescribe anything, usually they'll say take before meal, after meal, or without meal, or whatever. That's because they don't absorb and they can interfere with the efficacy. But ours just anytime I've spoken to Dr. Dan, I had the pleasure of meeting him last year. He says, if you forgot, don't worry, don't panic, don't stress. Just take it when you remember it, and it'll start working again. So, is that what you are seeing in, because you have taken, I do believe, and from knowing you, that you have tried all sorts of supplements to get better because you were struggling with so many conditions that one led to another, to another, to another, in a way. Did you feel that with this, it was an easy solution for you in your
Yeah,
situation? Leaky gut.
absolutely. And
Your leaky
yeah.
gut.
So, when it comes to leaky gut, we know that collagen is, the source of healing. And I used to make my own bone broth. Like I've been through every system. Like, I went to making my own bone broth. Like it's such a process. And that was to heal my gut system. But I'll tell you what, once I started taking Eternal, once I started drinking collagen, like 3 months, 6 months, I didn't like it was gone. And again, I say, these are not, meant to say that we diagnose, treat, or cure, but this is my personal testimonial. Like I went from having a gut system that literally sounded like a washing machine to like my body runs
Embarrassing, right?
perfectly. Yeah, and I sleep well. Like if our gut system is not doing well, we wake up between 1 and 3 in the morning. Like our liver can't process we have this whole problem with we can't sleep. You know why you can't sleep? Because your body can't clean. And it's like the cleaning lady comes to the house and she's like, this vacuum cleaner doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so, that's where Purify comes in. Like I triple dose my Purify every night, 3 purifies, not for everybody, but for me. Like I have the MTHFR gene. I don't detoxify. And every night I take 4 of the Revives. But what did I tell you earlier? I had severe inflammation in my joints. And so, it's different for everyone. But I will tell you, one of the key things that my clients love is that they can take a little pack. Literally, I have one here on my desk. They can take a little pack of these 5 little nutrients, and literally they've got 15 bottles of what they might have been taking. And I love the simplification of our system because it's a lot of all in ones. And like I live in the desert now, like I never had allergies in my entire life. And here I am living on a golf course. I'm golfing a lot. And all of a sudden, like I had bags under my eyes, and I was like, what the heck's going on? It was my sinuses. I'm taking Claritin, a Zyrtec every day. All I do is start taking our immune supplement with those medicinal mushrooms. Boom, like I just double up, triple up. If I'm getting on an airplane, I'm going to quadruple up. I'm just taking my immune, and I haven't been sick. I
Fantastic.
feel amazing. Yeah.
It is fantastic. I love the Purify too. And we are at a stage where we sort of connecting socially. We are quite active in our little community. So we might go out for somebody's birthday or anniversary or whatever. And, there might be excessive food or drinks or whatever. I always take 2 Purify before I go out and 2 Purify the next morning. No hangover. And I feel good. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's the absorption technologies that you touch on that make our product so special, and the fact that it absorbs so efficiently, we don't have to worry what time of the day. And because they're pure nutrients, non-toxic, non-GMO, gluten-free, because I can't take gluten. And it's got all the good things that you need and nothing of the bad things, you know. And everybody who's used it, when they are, and of course we cannot claim to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent, but I've heard so many stories, including from doctors who are on an advisory board, who have openly said to me that, you know, when they felt a little bit under the weather, they would take up to 4 times. You say you take 4 Revive and 3 Purify. I take 2 Purify, I take 2 Revive, but on some days I take 4. And yeah, they definitely work effectively. And yeah, so the next we're gonna have like three more speakers, and stay on, Renee, because I'm going to get you to comment on each of them. 3 amazing people in the US. They're all health coaches, by the way. So first, I'd like to call on Anna. Hello, beautiful Anna.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. And I've seen you before, and it's so good to be sharing the same platform with you here. So Anna is a health and wellness coach as well. She's happily married for 24 years, proud mother of 2 beautiful college-age daughters. And her passion is bear. Is that how you say it? Yeah,
It's
and
actually Barb.
bar.
Yeah.
I think we call it bear here, a
Yeah.
bar. And Pilates and running. Well, running.
Yeah.
So she's a very active 48-year-old, a young 48-year-old. And she's going to share with us her amazing transformation since she started using the products from 3.
Definitely. So thank you, doctor. So I love this company. I love the products. They're amazing. For my own personal story, these are my before pictures. And last year when I found 3, I was going through some major skin issues, just hormonal, as you can see on my pictures here, in my chin and my nose. I had really bad dermatitis, and my dermatologist basically, I was on a dose of spironolactone, which is really to lower it's really used for high blood pressure, but it helps with hormonal acne. And at the same time, with dermatitis, had me with antibiotics. So basically, lotions and creams of all kinds. And when I, started this, and I spoke to Renee, and we talked about the whole line of products, and I was kind of going through my own ordeal. Renee's like, look, if we do a round of the Eternel and the collagen, and the Vitality, obviously, and just getting this foundational supplementation that either my body was not absorbing, wasn't getting. But I have to tell you that for me, it was a game changer. The Eternel and the collagen, I did that together for a whole month, and then another month. And basically it cleared up my skin issues. It made it look brighter. It took away the redness here, all the bumps here, where I just use regular cream, vitamin C, and it's gone. And so for me, it made me a full believer that these products are exactly what they are, what they say they are, and taken in the right way, they basically took care of my skin. So I am beyond excited, and I've told everybody I know.
Yeah, your skin looks amazing. So amazing.
I know.
Yeah, it's really the effect is from inside out, and you can feel it too, right? Yeah,
100%.
yeah, because in Australia we've put so much emphasis and millions of dollars spent on this skincare campaign, anti-cancer and all that, but people forget that skin health actually also you need to work from inside out. So Renee, you play golf, and you know exposed to the sunshine as well, and you got beautiful skin, and you had problems before. What's your comment on Anna's story?
Well, I think I see this a lot. And, it is a couple of things. And Anna, I know that you took the Eternal, which glutathione is your master antioxidant. So we were, not only we were infusing with those antioxidants, but we were also working on free radical damage, so like old cellular damage. But then also we were working on detoxification. Now I'm assuming you put some Purify in there. Am I right?
I did. I actually, when I got the products, I used them all. I was like, I'm going to use the Purify. I'm going to use the Revive. Can't hurt to use them all.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, it's true. I did use that one too, because that one, and I still use them all, but the Purify for sure, because that was the other thing. You have to basically detox And then I was thinking, I'm taking this medication stuff. Oh my God, I got to get rid of this stuff in my system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure. So
exactly.
that's detoxifying the chemicals, the meds out of your system. But also, when we can get that liver cleansing, that kidneys, the colon's moving properly, we're hydrating properly, and so that's truly what's happening. But the probiotics that are in the Vitalite are super important for that gut health. When we see gut health, we see skin health, we see hair growth. Now, I know you just cut your hair, Anna. Tell us about your hair.
So, that's the other thing. So my hair has it's grew so fast. It's been growing crazy. And Renee, I just cut it the other day. She's like, "Did you cut your hair?" But I gotta tell you, I think even my eyebrows were growing. I was like, I think my eyebrows are growing. And I told a friend of mine, and she goes, "Really?" And I think so. And so I've noticed more fullness, lots of baby hairs coming here. And that was a big thing for me as well. I mean, funny you should say that, because that was another thing that I was like working with my hair, and I was taking other products and they weren't working. And this has basically, taken care of that too. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and before we leave, you have two wellness clinics and you work with patients that are in weight loss. And a lot of times when our patients are trying to lose weight, number one, they're having a hard time because they have to detoxify their fat cells. Like, we can't lose weight with toxic fat cells. Number two, they are in a state a lot of times of stress, and supporting that stress system. Probably you deal with clients like me that are in the perimenopause or menopausal state, so that Eternel helps really well with that, those antioxidants, the purify. But speak for a minute about how much your clients absolutely love the fact that they took one pill, one little packet, instead of a bunch of bottles, because I think that's so key, because it gets people to actually use their products.
100%. So exactly. So I do have two very busy weight loss clinics. And so foundational health is key, because like Renee says, if you can't make things work if the system and if the base foundation is not good, right? So, and also because in any time with weight loss, you're taking away things for weight loss purposes. So you create a deficiency, you create a vacuum. So this supplementation comes in there to really fill in that gap that's left. But what's great about it is that their absorbability of these products are huge, right? So the fact that they come in a little packet, they can be taken all at one time. They don't create nausea. People don't burp them. They don't make you. So that's a huge thing that my clients loved. I mean, when I first introduced it to them, they were like, "I don't want those. I want these," right? And so they immediately like, "I don't care. I don't want to take my 6 bottles. I want to take my little packet. I put them in my purse. I travel with them." People love them. They miss them. They know that, what's interesting, when I first started them, I only gave them a couple of packets just to test them out, but they could tell the difference by the time day 6 came. I only gave them 5. I didn't give them 7. So they would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can tell a huge difference." Their gut health was huge. They were more regular. They felt more energy. Somebody said, is there caffeine in these supplements?
Wow.
Because I feel this energy. So it was really eye-opening to me, and it has been, we haven't looked back. I mean, people love it. It has helped the weight loss be more efficient, because at the same time, the cells, like the toxicity in the cells, but also the mitochondria has more energy. So they're less hungry. So people are more able to stay with this program successfully without falling off the wagon. But it has been, and people take them. And so people come back and they want to take them. They're like, "Don't let my auto ship end. I, always have them on." So it's constant. Renee's like, "You'll see." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you were wrong." It's like a revolving door. And so it's been, for me in my clinic and my clients, providing a product. I feel that for me, if I'm going to take it, if I'm going to love it, I would love my patients and my clients to love it and to give something that's really good for them, because why wouldn't I give that to them?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going to give them only but the best, so we got rid of all the other ones and we're really focused on this, and it has been great. So, and they're in love
so
with the product.
fantastic. And also what you're saying in summary is that it's very easy to implement this new program. of proactive wellness, which is what our products are known for, because of the simplicity, as Renee highlighted. It's such a simple system. Replace, 15, 20 bottles. It's more than 100 ingredients altogether in all our 6 products, and it's just 6 products. It's just so easy to take, and they work. Yeah, I'm going to ask on. Thank you, Renee, for your comments, and thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Dr.
Do stay
Caroline.
on. Do stay on. Because I'm going to call next Robin Mitchell. Robin, we only met this morning prior to this Zoom coming on live. So I'm going to ask, Robin comes from Texas, and I'm going to ask Robin to tell us a little bit about her background and her story of how the products have transformed her life, and that she's so loving this product and she wants to share it with the whole world. Yeah, over to you, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. I am married. I have 3 children and 9 grandchildren. I live in Texas. I haven't always lived in Texas. I've lived in several states, but glad to be back home. And my story is that before 3, I was really struggling with inflammation in my body, my hands and feet. I had a lot of joint pain. Just getting up and walking at times, would be a slow start. I also have neck and back pain, and the back pain at times was causing me to take like a mild muscle relaxer, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week, just to get through the day. And because of that, also, I was concerned about, I was seeing some premature aging, and it was really bothering me. So go a little bit farther, and I was introduced to 3. And since then, I don't have hardly any joint pain. It's very rare. My neck and back pain is under control as well. And the inflammation is definitely gone, because I can actually wear a half a size smaller shoe than I could before. And my friends began to notice that I started aging backwards. I mean, I didn't mention this, but I'm 59, almost 59 next month. And I noticed that I was starting to age backwards, and my friends were noticing. And so because of that, they began to join our team. And I have recently advanced to the rank of 3-star. And yes, thank you. And so my plan for the future is that I'm going to earn the trip to Tulum, and I love, love, love this company.
Fantastic. So you not only enjoyed the transformation of better health, reverse aging, which all of us want, from inside out, more importantly, from inside out. And yeah, the products are just testimonials like yours. We hear almost every day. It brings goosebumps every time I hear it. And I thank God. I really thank God every day that I and my husband actually are part of this 3 company, and that it's come into our lives at a very crucial time, because we've been only married 4 years, and I want to live past 100 years old. So I need another 40 years of active lifestyle with no joint pain, no back pain, and being able to wear my bikini when I turn 100. Yeah, Renee, any comments on that? I think it's related to what you shared as well, right? Or the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really hard for me. Like when I first started taking the products, I had been on IV therapy for every single week for like 6 years. So I was really like, as much as I believed in the cellular absorption system and the science, and I looked at it all, and I reviewed it all, and I looked at all the pub.gov clinical studies, and all this stuff, I still, at the end of the day, when you've been in pain, you don't want to go back to pain. And when pain starts subsiding, you go like, okay, well, that's nice for today, but when is it coming back? And I don't know, Robin, if you can relate to that, but that was me. And I remember telling my husband, like I said, he always would ask me every day, like, how do you feel? Because he knew I didn't feel very good. And I said, well, actually, I feel pretty good today. And he was like, okay, that's good. And then like 3 days later, I was like, I still feel pretty good. And then it was 7 days. And then I was like, wow, like what the heck is happening here? I don't know, Robin, did you feel that? Because I feel like, one thing about the cellular absorption and the ability to reduce inflammation, like, we know with our epigenetics study that we can down regulate the inflammatory gene expression by 1200% with some of our products. That is,
Yes.
inflammation equals pain.
Yeah. And not many supplement companies actually do absorption studies or epigenetic studies, maybe because they might be afraid to find out what they they find out, and it wouldn't be very good for them. But our company, our scientist is our chief scientific officer is so confident, and he's done the right thing. What he's done as soon as this company opened, he already had gone through the process of getting all our products listed on the physician desk reference, which is a thick book. In Australia, we have an equivalent called MIMS, and I had to refer to it every time a patient comes in my clinical years. And now it's available in the digital form called the Prescriber's Digital Reference, pdr.net. And when you type the word 3 in there, if you're talking to any health professional who don't believe in nutrition supplements, or say supplements are rubbish, or they will say we are advised not to prescribe any of them. So you just tell them to type pdr.net, type the word 3, and all our products come out, and then they convert, they believe. They might not, at least they'll start taking it for themselves. And then when they feel the transformation, which is why we have such an amazing scientific board, advisory board, all of them use our products, and all of them have experienced a transformation, and they are from very well-established organizations, in the US, well recognized. So we are actually in the company that has already proven, vetted products, and the testimonials that come out are just phenomenal. And every day we hear, and it's stories like what you shared today is just amazing, and more people need to hear about them. So I'm really pleased. I'm going to ask the next last speaker, Jennifer Seven, to come on. Thank you very much, first of all, for coming on. She's also a health coach. I'm surrounded by health coaches today. Holistic nutritionist and meditation teacher. She's newlywed for 1 year. Congratulations. Mom of two grown boys and one daughter and a puppy. She's 63 years old. So all of us are, well, not all of us, some of you are younger. There are a few of us in our sizzling 60s, I would say. And yeah, please share with us your story. I believe that you had quite an amazing transformation that I'm sure many people in the audience would like to know.
Yeah, so what happened to me was that I got really sick with a virus, and I would have said it was COVID, except I never tested positive for COVID, but it acted like it. I had high fevers and muscle pains, and I could barely eat, and was super, super sick for about 3 weeks. And I recovered from that completely, but then about 3 months later, my hair started falling out, and I didn't at the time connect the dots that it was because of the virus, but I was brushing my hair, and the hair in the brush and the hair in the shower, and it was just coming out. I could just go like this, and the hair was just coming out. It was horrifying, and I was really, really distressed. And I started doing some research, and I found out that that's not uncommon when you have some kind of virus or stress to the body, and it is considered a post-COVID type of situation where your body gets so stressed that it sheds the hair. And it was a lot of hair. I mean, it wasn't and you can see from my pictures here, the baseball cap picture, there was hair under there, but yeah, not so much. And then you can see kind of the progression. But it was really, really traumatic, and it gave me so much empathy for women that have undergone even things that aren't viruses, but chemotherapy or whatever, and end up losing their hair. It's really, really tough because our self-esteem, our image is so much related to our hair. And I found myself wearing baseball caps, and I was wearing scarves, and I even got wigs, and I would take the wigs to get them cut. I would go to my hairdresser, and he's like, yeah, can we even shampoo your hair? I'm afraid because, we're afraid more was going to come out. So I was trying lots of things. I was getting biotin and all these supplements, and I even got Nutrafol, and I which are horse pills, by the way, and very hard to take. And I finally went to my dermatologist, and she said, yeah, it's going to grow back, but it may take a really long time. And I'm like, oh, great. And she's like, I don't really care for Nutrafol personally because it has too much biotin and that can cause a little havoc on your thyroid. So she recommended something else. And then I ran across three, having the blessing of meeting Renee along the way. And when I got with her actually for different reasons, because I was looking for supplements to replace what I had in my practice for my clients. And so we had this whole conversation, and she was telling me about them. And I think personally that I have always had an absorption issue with supplements that my body has not been able to take in from the supplements. My nails have always been very, very thin. So I was like, okay, let's do it. I'm going to get these supplements. And like Anna was saying, I was like, I'm going to take all of them. So I just started everything. I'm like, whatever, I got to get my hair back. And
not missing out.
yeah. So it was amazing how my hair started coming back. And the day I went to my hairdresser, because I kept going, and he'd do these little tiny trims, he's like, baby hairs, yeah, we have to be really careful with your hair. We couldn't color it or anything for quite some time. And one day I came in, and he goes, your hair is really coming back. And, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I can tell you, it's got to be the collagen or the Eternal that I'm taking. And he said, he eventually said, well, now we can start to put layers back in your hair, which, if there's guys on the call, I'm sorry, but it's a girl thing, to get our hair back. And then I was so excited, because then he's like, I think we can start to color it again. And the day that I was really happy was when he said, I think your hair is better and healthier and stronger than it was before it all fell out. And I was like, wow. Okay, this is exciting, because I told him, I said, the only thing I can really attribute this to are the supplements that I'm taking. So here it is. I mean, it's still, and we're still working on it. It's still a work in progress, but from where I started to where I am,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
very
sure a lot of people in the audience, male or female, you need to understand that the hair and skin is not all about vanity or wanting to look beautiful, because that's really manifestation of something that's not working really well inside your body. So we need to pay attention to that. So, when you have beautiful hair, beautiful skin, you feel good. It's got flow-on effects, psychologically, mentally, and even your confidence level. I'm not saying that we focus on those things, but it is healing.
it's true.
It's really what you've done is actually, improving your well-being from inside out. And this is just showing all of us our beautiful self, but it's not our main goal. It might be for some people, but that's a way of making sure that your body is happy,
Yeah.
and so it's
Well, and I
amazing.
was even excited because, I go get my nails done, and my
Correct.
nail was like, she's
Yeah.
like, your nails are getting better. They're getting stronger. And I'm like,
Everything gets better. Everything gets better. I sometimes
everything
joke,
gets better.
everything gets better with our products. And I do not claim, we cannot claim to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent, and don't laugh, but I mean it.
Yeah.
The products
Yeah.
are good for women's health, good for men's health, good for relationship health, and you
Yeah.
last longer in everything you do. You got it?
One more thing, one more thing that Jennifer forgot to tell you is that over time, without changing anything, her cholesterol went down by 30 points.
That is
Yes.
fantastic.
That was shocking to me, because having been a newlywed and enjoying life very much over the last year, eating and drinking, and and I knew my doctor had been like, yeah, I think we're gonna have to put you on statins, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Let me just work on it. I didn't work on it that well, but then I started the supplements. And so then when I went in for my last physical, I just knew it was going to be bad news. I was like, I have been indulging way too much. Got my labs. You could have picked me up off the floor. That it had gone down 30 points, and I'm sure the vitality, that he just all of it. That
Everything.
was just like I was thrilled,
That is
absolutely
fantastic.
thrilled.
Because that happened to me personally, my last annual check. My doctor wanted very much to put me on statin because I had come back from a cruise and then I was eating it out every day, all the rich food. So my cholesterol level was on a higher range of the normal
Yeah,
because of family history. So I refused. I'm a stubborn, non-compliant patient.
me too. Me too.
And sent me to the cardiologist and did the stress test, and that was okay. Said, oh, one more test if you're open-minded. I'm always open-minded. So put me on to a CT calcium score test. And he rang me 3 days later while we were on a road trip. And he said to me, he started by saying that my patients, as she come in, for a heart assessment, their scores can be as high as 5,000 calcium score. That's plaque in your heart. He said, yours, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Don't go on any medication. It's zero. It's healthier than somebody 30 years younger than you. You can't get a more perfect score than zero calcium score in your heart, because at my age, I'm supposed to have at least 20 or some degree. So therefore, he told me no need to go on the cholesterol tablets. But I've never been on it, so I didn't want to start going on it, knowing that, and I'm sure many of you heard it from your clients and testimonials, that it can potentially lead to other problems.
Mhm.
And you have a doctor friend who told me that he was trying to talk to the GP. He's a medical specialist, but he was trying to talk to his GP to help the GP to reduce the 10 or 12 medications or drugs that the mother was on. But again, we make no claims to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent. But it's stories like that, right? When you put something into your body, you give it the nutrients that is supposed that they need, the body needs, and it will just function optimally. And everything just gets better, one thing after another. It's just such a, you just feel like a renewed person, which is how I felt. I see that in Renee, although I've known her for a few years, but I saw this even amazing. How can you get even better and better and better? So it's amazing. All of you look beautiful here tonight for you, and in the morning still for me. So thank you so much. Renee, do you have any last word to say before we say goodbye?
No, I think that everyone here is number one from the health industry. We really understand functional nutrition, holistic wellness, and we want that not only for ourselves, but for the people that we service and those people in our communities. And so that's one of the things that I think that I see here. Every single person here goes out into their community, sorry, and shares 3 International because they have a purpose. One thing that 3 International does for all of us is brings us together with a purpose for to bring other people to a better state, not only our families and our friends, but our communities. So that's thank you so much for having us all here, and I'm just honored, Dr. Caroline.
Yeah, thank you, Renee, and thank you, Anna. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Jennifer. On behalf of all of us, we thank the audience. Without the audience, this would not happen. So we urge you to go back to the person who invited you, follow up, ask questions. We will find the answers for you. And the recording will be out at either today, tomorrow, or the next few days. And make sure that if you want to have a recap, ask for the recording. It can be shared. And do share with the people that you care about who may benefit from just the stories that we share today. They may benefit from using our products or being aware of products, whether you're a health professional or a carer or just a consumer. Because as I said right from the beginning, I have been privileged to be in positions of having the perspective, a very balanced perspective of a funder and organize of organizations that provide healthcare services. I've been a consumer. I also have been a policymaker in my career. So I can see all the challenges for people, everyday people, in accessing quality nutrition supplements that really work. It's not what you eat, but what you absorb. We all know that. Okay, so thank you very much, beautiful ladies, and have a good evening, good morning, with the rest of the day. So thank you again.
Thank you, doctor. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night,
everyone. Bye-bye.
Night.